Now it's time to break it.
Oh, yeah. And welcome back to SplitScreeners Podcast. I'm joined, as always, by my best friends, Gavin Campbell.
Hello!
Nicholas Lindblom. And Aaron Mazzaros.
Hello.
Before I get started, remember to subscribe, like, and share, comment, and hit that notification button to always stay up to date on our latest videos.
In this episode, we're going to be going over movies, what we've been watching this week, some news, maybe some trailers that have come out. I don't know.
Trailers.
All right. Movies that are coming out next weekend, so let's get right into it. Zach.
All right, so movies coming out next. Fuck you, computer. All right.
Movie coming out next week.
Well, I did find another one that did look mildly interesting. But movies for next weekend, we have Morbius, which is getting torn apart by early reviewers.
Shocker.
My excitement went from a 10 on a scale of 100
Oh, I was like,
to
wow.
a 0. I'm still going to watch this movie.
My excitement's still gunning somewhere around 1.
Higher than yours. I'm excited to go and rip on it. I think it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, I rather put energy into liking movies, but I feel like I'm going to be ripping on this one too. But for those who live on a rock, I have the synopsis for you. One of Marvel's most compelling and conflicted characters comes to the big screen, and Oscar winner Jared Leto transforms into an enigmatic anti-hero Michael Morbius.
Doctor.
Dangerously ill with a rare blood disorder and determined to save others suffering his same fate. Dr. Morbius attempts this desperate gamble. While at first it seems to be a radical success, the darkness inside him is unleashed. Will good override evil, or will Morbius succumb to the mysterious new urges? I like this character back in the animated series. I'm hoping that it's actually better than the reviewers are saying. I'm not holding my breath. It's something to watch next weekend. And if I get disappointed by this, Chris Pine has a movie coming out the same day too. So
Chris Pine?
Yeah.
From Star Trek?
From Star Trek. And his movie's called The Contractor. I know nothing about this movie other than the synopsis that I wrote or copied and pasted down here so I can read it to you guys. Apparently this movie comes out the same day. Probably won't do as well as Morbius. Maybe it'll do better.
Fingers crossed. Stop giving Jared Leto your money, people.
Except we're planning to go give him our money. See, we're part of the problem.
No, we're giving Regal our
that money goes to him
somehow.
Zach.
I mean, whatever. Chris Pine stars in an action-packed thriller as a Special Forces Sergeant James Harper, who is involuntarily discharged from the Army and cut off from his pension. In debt, out of options, and desperate to provide for his family, Harper contracts with a private underground military force. When the very first assignment goes airy, the elite soldier finds himself hunted and on the run, caught in dangerous conspiracy and fighting to stay alive as long enough to get home and uncover the true motives of those who betrayed him. Yeah, this also has Kiefer Sutherland, Ben Foster, and a few other actors I've never heard of before. But this actually sounds like it could be good.
I like Chris Pine quite a bit.
Yeah, I think he does really well.
Don't steal my finger guns from me.
All right. Think he could do really good? I like the finger guns better. Yeah. Well, welcome back, Aaron. It's been 2 weeks since we've seen your beautiful face.
I know.
Even though you look like you're about to drop into the grave.
Well, I'm feeling pretty shitty right now, but
I'm here.
We'll make it through. I'm here.
Yeah. Moving on. News. They released a deleted scene for the Batman this past week. It's a 5-minute clip of the Joker scene, which kind of gets its premise from movies like Silence of the Lambs. In this scene, Batman goes and visits Joker in Arkham Asylum and kind of tries to get into the head of the Riddler while the Joker kind of twisted on him and asks him the real question: does he think the Riddler is right in what he's doing and the people he's killing deserves it? Big part of why this scene got deleted, other than time, because it's already a 3-hour movie, the director didn't want the Joker as a villain stealing away from Paul Dano's Riddler. 'Cause seeing that in the movie, everyone would be talking about the Joker instead of the Riddler, of course.
Barry Keoghan.
Keoghan?
I think.
Yeah. Probably. He also was in the...
I'm not letting any silence come in anymore.
Yeah.
So whenever Zach pauses to think about something for a second, I'm just gonna...
The sad part is that every time you do that, I lose complete... Like, I'm on 2 tracks. One drops off. Nick starts doing sound effects. I'm just train wrecked.
Chaos.
I'm just preparing you for your time in Hollywood.
Boring Marvel movie came out last year.
Boring Marvel movie The Eternals.
The Eternals, there we go.
Hey-o!
He was also in The Eternals.
I feel like I was in a game show there. That was badass.
I'm sorry, my brain talks faster than my mouth, and then I get lost. Yeah. I thought the scene was pretty cool. I was going to show you before we got started recording, but that's a 5-minute scene, and we want to get going. So you can see this on YouTube. It's pretty cool. James Bond. So last week we talked about MGM getting bought up by Amazon. One of the biggest properties they acquired through this purchase was the James Bond series. 2 pieces of news this week. The Faroe Islands, I think that's how you pronounce it, where the last scene in James Bond's death takes place.
Spoilers.
In real life,
I didn't
you've had a
know
chance.
that.
You've had a chance to watch it. In the real life location has now erected a tombstone for the character.
He said erected.
Maximum erectus.
It's hard, round, and quite gray. Kind of like memorialize the character in the spot in which the film he died. They actually put a quote from the end of the movie after his death on the tombstone, which was pretty cool. I don't know the exact origin of this quote, but it goes as, "The proper function of man is to live, not to exist." I thought it was kind of cool. Kind of go along with this, like I said, Amazon did acquire the rights to James Bond. Their first action with said franchise is to make a fucking competition based off the James Bond universe. Think Amazing Race. It's going to be an 8-part race around the world competition.
But that sounds more in line with the lore of James Bond than the Wheel of Time was at all.
Tying it all together, Zach.
The Wheel of Time.
So wait, is it going to be 8 different actors who are...
No.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be...
Like the Amazing Race.
Yeah, like regular people being drawn in as contestants.
We can get on that shit.
Probably not. The one saving grace with the show, in my opinion, because I just hate the idea of this franchise becoming a reality TV show, is that the
Gotta be
Bond...
better than anything Daniel Craig did.
You motherfucker. I try not to swear a lot on this show, but god damn it. The legendary Bond producers who have produced every Bond film that's considered canon are producing this show as well.
Oh, so we're going to have even better names? Because we already have Pussy Galore. Octopussy.
I don't think any of this is coming into the show. It's basically just pretending to be a spy, racing around the world.
I just want them to read a note and they're like, Jacques Lecoq needs you to meet him at the Pussy Bar.
It all ties back together again. Kevin's talking about Jacques Lecoq again.
Contestants will be...
I'm trying to be funny, damn it!
You're trying?
Trying?
Doesn't look like you have any effort at all.
Exactly.
Contestants will be competing for 1 million euros, or in American dollars, that's $1.3 million.
Yeah, why don't we try it out? Sounds right up your alley.
It just says regular people.
I mean, I wouldn't... I said regular people. They didn't say regular people. That's mine. Those are my words.
It's actually like American Ninja Warrior. Like, it's just an obstacle course.
See, what I think
around
they should
the world.
What I think they should do is they should take 8 actors that want to play James Bond in the future. Have them do an Amazing Race style show, which I will tune into every week. And the winner gets to be James Bond. And
I feel like that would be so like rigged, like even more rigged than WWE.
No,
the studio would have their own like idea of who they want first.
That's the point. They have to pick 8 people. The studio gets to pick people.
They would have their like number 1 pick, and they would make sure that person would win.
No, see what the best way to actually do this is to try and make it like more interactive for everybody. Is to just open a poll. Everyone gets put in their vote. All right.
Fan voting.
Yes, fan voting
like
for
American
the 8
Idol.
things. So we get like Gilbert Gottfried and Rock.
Nope. It can only be British actors. There's never been an American actor as James
It's
Bond.
called rebooting, nerd. So you can have Hugh Jackman,
Robert Pattinson,
Christian Bale,
He's American.
just Tom Holland. That's who they're gonna pick, and then it's like American
Guaranteed. That's what he's leaving Marvel for.
And then it's like
We're
Bigger,
gonna
better
do
things.
a younger.
and then it's
James
like,
Bond.
and then it's an American
What if-
Idol thing where
what if-
each week we vote them on.
I think
Gavin,
that'd be cool.
Tom
talking
Cruise jumped from Mission Impossible to be a 00 agent.
To be a shitty one.
Same character.
not British though.
They don't care.
He can
No, the
he can have a
producers
fake
do
accident.
care.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
They won't once Amazon gives them $1 million.
Tom
This is-
Hardy, right?
It's been like every recasting. They've been like hands down. It has to be a British actor.
Yeah, until
'Cause the
Amazon
character is
hands them a
British.
lot of fucking money and say,
I did.
guess what? Now he's Australian.
The next James Bond will be Sean William Scott from the American Pie movies.
That's what it says
I heard a
here.
rumor that they're working on a new one or like trying to get a new one going.
New one.
American Pie movie.
Oh, this says American Pie couldn't be made today, so Sean William Scott. Which he is correct on. It could not be made today.
I mean, yeah, today
Fuck that pie.
he would. So would his friends. All right, guys, that's basically what I have for news. It's been kind of a lame week. No trailers.
What about the Oscars, Zach?
They're airing right now.
But all the winners have been announced,
I'm not going to
Zach.
tell you the winners till next week.
But Zach,
Hair of
care.
the dog.
the winners
I really don't care.
have been announced.
We're moving on
Gal
to movies.
Gadot is the next.
I want to hear the winners.
James Bond.
Oscars are rigged. They suck. I'm sorry.
What is
Wow. Zach, wow.
All right, we're moving on to movies that we've watched this week.
TV shows as well.
TV shows, yeah. What have you guys been watching this week? God damn it.
All right. I've watched quite a bit this week. I'm going to start off first with a Peacock original series called Evil.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is like a behind-the-scenes thing on how some of the best heels in WWE history have like gotten into character and played that role. There's 8 episodes. They did Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Sasha Banks, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton.
The Miz.
The Miz was one of them, yeah. The Brothers of Destruction, Kane and The Undertaker were one. I can't remember the last one. But
Reigns.
Brock Lesnar.
I already did Reigns.
Oh, I thought
No,
you were-
Reigns should have been, or Lesnar should have been on there.
I thought you said Reigns was the last episode.
Reigns was the last one, but I already
Okay.
named him earlier.
Oh.
I watched all 8. I even watched a couple of them twice so I could show Tori. We watched the Randy Orton one. I watched the Randy Orton one twice and the Roman Reigns one twice. It was really, really cool. I'm glad that I'm not just using Peacock to watch WWE pay-per-views because that's what I thought when I first got it. Because now they have Belair, and this show was phenomenal. It was so cool hearing these stories from these wrestlers. There's so many things that I didn't know about. Randy Orton, when he was young, he overdosed, drove home from a show, got back to his house early in the morning, wanted to go to sleep, took some pills, woke up in the ER. That's when he realized he kind of had to change everything. Ric Flair was in a helicopter crash when he was younger. Kane and The Undertaker and their story came together. It was super cool. Anybody who's into WWE, I would 100% recommend it.
Evil.
Yeah, it's called Evil.
So yeah, I'll have to put that on my list to watch.
They don't want anything else.
I also watched Windfall
I did
on
too.
Netflix. I know Zach watched it. Just 3 people cast in this movie. 4, technically. But 3 main characters. Jason Segel,
Jesse Plemons.
Jesse Plemons, and then
Lily
Collins.
Collins, there
Who
we go.
plays Jesse Plemons' wife. And it's about Jason Segel's character, nobody has actual names in the whole movie. Nobody's name gets really thrown out there, but Jason Segel's character is robbing this house, and it's supposed to be a vacation home for Jesse Plemons and his wife. He doesn't think that they're going to be there, so he, drinks some orange juice and has some food while they're gone, and
Pisses with the door open.
And when he decides to leave, he has a change of heart to go back and actually steal some shit, because he hadn't originally stolen anything. And after he goes back inside, Jesse Plemons and his wife actually show up before he gets the chance to leave. And it's just kind of a thriller of him trying to get out of this situation that he has now become involved in, because now he has these two people that he's taken captive and kidnapped. One of them being a billionaire in Jesse Plemons. And this whole movie, it really slow build up. I was super interested through the whole thing, but super slow. And then that last half an hour is just wild.
Yeah. I went to work today for just 2 hours, and I'm sitting there grading forklift tests. And I had this playing on next to me, and this is probably why it took me 2 hours to go through all these tests, because I'm just sitting there I just want to know what this guy did to earn so much hate. I want to know all their stories.
And they don't give you any of that.
They give you a little bit, he created this algorithm that kind of tells companies who to fire.
Yeah.
To kind of slim down on their employment costs. I think that's part of the reason he's so pissed off. But
yeah, it's a super cool thriller movie. I don't think it was as good as The Adam Project, which we talked about on our last episode. I
watched that this week.
That is one of my favorite Netflix original movies that I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
But this was super good and very interesting.
You also started Joe versus Carol.
I finished Joe versus Carol. We were up until 4 o'clock in the morning watching Joe.
So
versus
is that
Carol.
just like a parody?
Yeah. So whereas in the original Joe Exotic show, I think what they were at the end of it, I think what they kind of did was make Joe Exotic more of the hero out of everybody that was in that show. Obviously, none of them are heroes by any means. This kind of takes a new approach, and it almost makes you sympathetic towards Carol Baskins as a character. That's kind of where the whole show is. You kind of just learn more about her character, her childhood. Again, it is based in reality. The characters are real. I don't know how much of the story is actually real. I was very pissed off when they actually made me feel sympathetic for Carol Baskins as a human being. Because, fuck Carol Baskins. That bitch, Carol Baskins. But it was good. I don't think it was as good as the original show. I just... That was so good and such perfect timing with the pandemic and everything. So this wasn't on that level, but it was still entertaining. I mean, we stayed up and watched all 8 episodes until 4 in the morning.
Nice.
And then everybody caught up on Bel-Air?
No. Yes.
I'm on the last 2 episodes, 8 and 9.
Aaron,
I know. I was I finally got to the point where...
Nope.
You didn't watch 9?
Not yet.
Okay, so next week is 10.
I'll have.
So everybody can be caught up by 10 so we can have a full conversation. But as we've said every week, if you haven't started watching Bel-Air, I 100% recommend it to everybody. It is so good, and it just keeps getting better.
I was actually shouting at the TV this episode.
Yeah, this episode was frustrating.
It was super fucking frustrating. I get mad at my wife when she's trying to talk to the characters on the TV. I'm like, Mom.
Mom!
It's been a late night. Damn it.
They didn't have a relationship.
They can't hear you. You can't change the story. Shut up. I have to. I just feel like I have to say it. But no, that was me this time.
Yeah, it's...
You guys probably heard me through the floor a couple times. And then you guys were 4 minutes behind us, so as soon as we finished the episode, I come running down the stairs to watch the end of the episode with these guys again.
Yeah, I'm excited because, we can all be caught up next week. It'll be super cool to have a discussion on the first season. So stay tuned for that Season 1 recap of Bel-Air coming next week.
I might rewatch the whole season this week.
I don't know.
Is that everything?
I think that's everything I've watched. So one of you guys want to take over?
Sure. So I was on spring break, but I was still incredibly busy because, of course, I am. I watched Bel-Air episode 8. I watched Prince of Egypt because it's on Peacock as well. Great movie.
Great movie.
Yes.
I watched Shark Tale
Great movie.
I haven't seen that one.
Holy shit, it was like a fever dream.
Decade.
And you know what it reminded me of? The Shark Tale video game. Did any of you play that game?
Nope.
Okay, so
I can see how it would remind you of the Shark Tale video game.
There's a little correlation.
Yeah, there's a correlation there. And I'm trying to find it so I can get it on my PC so I can play it again. It is such a weird game from what I remember. It has like Dance Dance Revolution stuff where you have to like match like the movements in these dance mini games, and then you're just beating the fuck out of sharks. It's like they just read the blurb of what Shark Tale is, and they're like, "We got it," because it's just literally dancing.
So they Wheel of Timed it. All right.
Time continues to spin.
It all comes full circle.
Threads of fate. You are not the dragon reborn, Brian.
Are you caught up on that show?
What?
Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time.
No!
Do it! It gets so good.
Yeah, oh yeah, I watched the whole season.
Does it get better?
I thought this was
Gets
the
worse.
battle. I thought this was the last battle, but it was the first.
Anything else that you watched this week?
Whose line is it anyway? Found out that's on HBO Max.
Oh fuck yes, I love that show.
The new one, not the old ones,
Oh.
but the new ones are still a lot of fun with Aisha Tyler. I also, what the fuck else did I watched something else? No, I didn't. I thought I watched other things.
So show-wise,
And Adam Project. I watched
Adam
Adam
Project.
Project.
How did you like it? We
It was a
talked
lot of
about it
fun.
a couple weeks ago.
It was a lot of fun. There's a couple times I was like, this doesn't make sense, but it's trying to make total sense with time wonkiness anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, most movies that do time travel fuck up somewhere.
oh yeah.
And it doesn't.
It's what I'm worried about with Marvel right now. With the whole, like, Loki and all. Like, they're gonna fuck something up spectacularly.
But then
I
they
feel
can
like-
just undo it.
I feel
Yeah.
like there's like enough people trying to
Yeah.
keep track of that. There's a whole room of just people making sure that
They're gonna
everything
fuck it
makes
up.
sense.
And they're still gonna fuck it up.
If there's any fuck ups, it'll be on Sony's end.
Look, Kingdom Hearts involves time travel, and it's like the most like in-depth time travel, and it barely makes sense.
God, that looks awful.
But Adam Project was a lot of fun.
Adam Project.
Didn't have a lot of chance to watch much this week. I did start Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, that's a good.
So
From the beginning,
So,
or
yeah.
it's a good series.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. That is all I watched.
Zach?
Show-wise, me and my wife started Human Resources, which is a spin-off
Oh,
of Big Mouth.
We finished that this
I
week.
fell asleep because I thought it was extremely boring.
I think it's better than Big Mouth by a large margin.
Well, I did watch Power Rangers,
Ooh, the original movie or the TV show?
the movie.
Oh, hell
The-
yeah.
the new
Mighty
one or
Morphin
the old
Power
one?
Rangers,
Yeah.
the movie?
It was phenomenal. And then I followed that up by watching Turbo, a Power Rangers movie.
Oh.
And that was awful.
Way to downgrade.
I liked Human Resources. I thought it was a lot more enjoyable. It's less cringy to watch than Big Mouth. I get that part of it was fun with, like, part of Big Mouth, the fun was a cringe.
Yeah.
But honestly, the last couple seasons of Big Mouth, it felt just like that's
Cringe
what
for
they're-
the sake of cringe.
Yeah, they're just leaning into the cringe. And like the Human Resources, maybe I like it better because it's not focused on children having sex and everything. Like I get like that's a whole thing with it, with Big Mouth and everything.
Yeah.
Human Resources doesn't have that. I think the youngest ones are like college freshmen, and I like how they're kind of like I like how they're doing it. I thought it was very entertaining. I think it's cringy, but not more so than Big Mouth, and it's easier to watch. If you like Big Mouth because of the weird all the sexualization and all the children in it, which I know is a lot of people that I've talked to, you'll probably like Human Resources.
Probably, yeah. I can definitely see that. We got, I think, this episode 3, and it was a bit late for us old people, but
Old's an understatement for you too.
whatever.
We got through it in a day. It was like a whole day process.
Yeah.
Got home at like 11 o'clock on a Friday and lights are out, alarm is set, they're sleeping. I'm like, dang,
It's been a
man.
long week.
I don't want to hear it.
I'm training like 7 new people. At
Be
work
a,
right
be a kid again.
now. I want to. God damn it. I realized how smooth you're trying to be with that.
I think I covered that up pretty well until you started laughing.
Good now. Cough jokes. All right, movies. I watched Jackass Forever today. Finally, that's on Paramount Plus. Just like the other Jackass movies, I do think this one was a lot funnier than what I remember the other ones being. It does open up with
Recency bias.
Huh?
Recency bias.
Yeah, probably.
First Jackass movie is phenomenal.
I mean, they're all pretty fucking good. For what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my wife enjoyed this one. There's a lot more cock and balls than I remember.
There's always lots of cock and balls.
But
That's what I told him.
yeah, like I said, it's been probably like 10 years since I've seen one.
My favorite skit from the new one, I haven't watched it, I've just seen the clips online, is the one where that's not from the fourth one. The fourth one is the one when they fuck with Machine Gun Kelly.
That's another new one.
Yeah, it is in the new one. The old one I was thinking about is when they're throwing the footballs in the jet engine.
I did cheer
That's-
when Machine Gun Kelly got knocked into the pool because he lost that skit.
Oh yeah.
The opening was outrageously funny and cringy, as usual. I think my favorite one was, there's a skit where they have one of the guys strapped to the chair, and I think it's actually in the trailer too, they put like honey and salmon all over him and let a bear in after doing like a lie detector test fake skit, and he just loses it, like in shock, completely silent, and still like complete total fear. I think he was also the guy who got all the cup or ball cup tests done to him. That guy got beat up.
Have you seen the? This is slightly off topic. Have you seen the Impractical Jokers movie?
No.
They have a similar thing. They lock Sal in a hotel room with a fucking tiger,
Oh, jeez.
and he's just freaking the fuck. He's like, "Please, I think I'm gonna die." And they're like, the tiger's chained up in the bathroom. It can't get out, and they just hear a rip because it fucking rips. What's holding it there? Out of here.
Like I said earlier, I also watched Windfall on Netflix. I thought it was a great movie, just like Nick said. I love the build-up and suspense of the film. I love what they did with just 3.5 actors.
Mm-hmm.
There's one particular scene in this movie that was kind of outrageously funny. It's a death, but just how it happened made me laugh quite hard.
The cool thing about that movie is, like, going in completely blind, like I did, like I had only seen a little snippet on TikTok, I had no idea what to expect. So through all that buildup, I didn't know, like, if it was going to end on a good note or how it was going to end, which was super cool.
See, I think I saw like a similar TikTok video that you did, because going in I thought they're going to just all become buddy-buddy.
Yeah.
And like it's going to be some kind of like Stockholm Syndrome type shit. Where
And-
they're like all friends and just kind of hanging out watching movies. I mean, that kind of happens, but it's all kind of really tense and like you don't know if they're going to retaliate at this moment or not, or if they got like a secret plan going on or whatnot. But yeah, really good movie. And then me and my wife, because of the lack of a certain movie we wanted to see. I think
Everything Everywhere All at Once. Where the hell was it? Regal?
apparently it was a limited release this week, and we'll have a much wider release in the coming weeks.
I'm excited to see it.
I am excited to see that too. But since that was in the theaters, me and my wife saw The Lost City, starring Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum,
Daniel Radcliffe.
who was my favorite part of the movie.
That's what I thought. From the stuff I had seen, it seemed like he was going to be the best.
I don't think I've actually seen a movie with... Oh, The Woman in the Window. Or The Woman in Black. That horror movie that came out like 10 years ago.
Yeah, he was good in that.
He was good in that. But other than that, I hadn't seen Daniel Radcliffe in a movie since Harry Potter. So that was a little hard to shake off for me at first. But he really did play an unhinged, kind of jealous villain who almost reminded me of like an Austin Powers / Bond villain. Had to laugh because me and my wife had the same thought after leaving the movie, that this basically was a better Uncharted without being Uncharted or chained to a video game franchise like Uncharted was. But this movie is basically what you're expecting. It's just a funny rom-com. Channing Tatum does a really good job of playing the kind of clueless, kind of dumb guy model who is really lovable. Sandra Bullock is kind of cat lady without cats who's kind of getting over past trauma. Thought the story was fun. The movie was fun. It's just good escapism.
You haven't seen anything with Daniel Radcliffe?
That's what I was gonna say. I have some recommendations if you haven't seen Daniel Radcliffe.
I know I want to see Swiss Army.
Swiss Army
Man.
Man's great.
Yeah.
Fucking, it's a great movie.
Guns Akimbo.
I have that one on my list. I almost bought it.
I liked Horns, but it's a little bit weird.
And then if you watch the show Miracle Workers, he is great in the show Miracle Workers.
Well, I will remember these. Yeah, I definitely want to see Guns Akimbo. That looked really cool. It looked like a more outrageous version of Gerard Butler's Gamer.
Swiss Army Man, like, he's in the movie, but literally he's a corpse.
Yeah. I've seen the trailers for that one.
Oh, it's such a fun.
I think that's another A24 film. We've been talking about a lot of A24 films.
It was actually my backup movie instead of Brady Bunch if I decided against it. So one way or another.
I'm just looking it up right now because now I'm really curious to see if it's A24. No time right now. I'll look later.
No time right now.
But yeah,
No time.
That's what I've watched.
I'm fucking done.
Yeah, we also watched Bel Air, like we said earlier. Yeah, kind of a busy week for.
Yeah. I've been trying to watch more stuff. Obviously, for the podcast, I've been trying to play some newer games for the podcast. So,
I've been trying to like concentrate on growing my TikTok community and watching movies that have been kind of suggested. There's one guy that I follow who's really into steelbooks, and he's doing all these steelbooks that have been released by Lionsgate, which are really cool. So I picked up, what was it?
Imagine spending money on Blu-rays. Don't you know that's an extinct medium?
No, it's actually
everything's
one of the biggest
fucking
media still.
Betamax now.
Yeah, nobody actually watches it, Zach. They're just people like you buying up their steelbooks.
Yeah, I've actually got
You-
two on
you
the
know,
way.
Speaking
couple more years, you're not even going to be able to play that Blu-ray on anything.
I'll just keep my PS4. Yeah.
Wait
speaking
until it breaks.
of Zach's TikTok account, he does plug a lot of TV shows and movies that he sees and gives you his opinions
I
on
need to
them.
get more into TV shows. I think I'm gonna wait till the end of Bel Air to do that one. I'm gonna actually have to rewatch parts of HR or Human Resources before I react to that one. But yeah.
He also shows off cool things like his Rocktopus here.
Oh yeah, I forgot I did that one today.
Zach, if any of our loyal subscribers want to follow you on TikTok, where should they look?
Film Beast.
Booyah.
I'm also on Twitter and Instagram, but I haven't done much with those quite yet. Trying to grow one at a time and get better.
We are also on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and TikTok. You can see all of the posts that we've made on all of those accounts for sure by just typing in Split Screeners.
A lot of content to sift through.
Or Split Screeners podcast.
I mean, you guys have been we've been tagged to a lot of stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. How's that?
I need
Good
to
job.
upload some stuff.
We got
Yes.
anything else?
I got some good clips.
well, speaking of your clips, where can we find you on TikTok and Twitter?
XX Boopity XX.
BOPPITY.
And then I've talked about if you want to watch the streams, which I'm streaming a lot more. I've been streaming Apex a lot this week. Mostly just fucking around. But that's on Boopity Games. On Twitch, you can also watch me play a little bit of Elden Ring. I've taken a little bit of a backseat because they nerfed my cheap shit, so now my weirdly specialized character is more or less fucking useless. So I need to and I've been trying to think about what build I want to redo on, but I'm missing lots of upgrade materials, and it kind of fucked me really hard. So,
Yeah, we will talk about that later as well.
Yeah.
Probably.
Stay tuned because we are going to have other episodes coming out this week. D&D hopefully will come out this week. We'll have video games. We'll have sports for this week.
Another top 10.
Another top 10 where we're talking about our top 10 favorite game developers.
Not to mention movie, bookie. We watched Dead Poets Society, and we'll get into that on that episode. And then next week, we would have seen Morbius, unfortunately. So we'll be talking about that movie and giving it our raving reviews.
All right.
And probably
you think Morbius would be
Contractor
better if
too.
we just imagine Jared Leto as the Joker in it?
I know, that's what I was looking at.
I'm going to hurt you.
Not here.
Real.
On that note, it is time to split.